Báńṣà òfúra ó já síná, àjà òfúra ó ajá jẹ́. Onílé tí kò bá fúnra olè ní oko. Ṣé bí òwe àwọn bàbá wa náà ni o? Ìran Yorùbá o, ẹ fúnra. Ìran Yorùbá o, ìran mi. Ìran tó dára nínú àṣà tiwa. Ká tètè jí gìrì lójú oorun tá ń sùn. Bómi má bà tẹ̀yìn wọ́gbìn wà lẹ́nu. Ìran Yorùbá o, ẹ fúnra. Ó bá jẹ́ pé ló ń jà wá tàbí àṣàsí tàbí ègún kan, Olúwa gbà wá o. Ṣàánú fún wa àwa ìran Yorùbá. Olúwa a bẹ̀ ọ́ o jàre. Ìran Yorùbá bí àgbàgbọ́ bá ò gbàgbọ́ a ò ní ṣọ̀kan. Ẹnu wa kòkòrì ó rú mi lójú. Ènìyàn tó bá ti wà lókè nínú wa kò ní fẹ́ kọ́mọ Yorùbá mìíràn kó gòkè. Àwọn tí kò sì tí gòkè nínú wa, ọ̀nà láti já ẹni tó wà lókè lulẹ̀. Eré burúkú yẹn ni Yorùbá máa sá. Ohun tí mò ń sọ yẹn ẹ̀yin ìran mi. Àwọn tírú ogun yìí ti jà ló lè sọ. Títí délùú onílùú ò làwa Yorùbá láti ń ṣàkóbá ńlá fún ara wa. Ẹ̀bẹ̀ ni mo bẹ̀ wá ẹ̀yin ìran mi. Yorùbá ronú. Bí ẹ̀yà mìíràn bá fẹ́ fogun jà Yorùbá, wọ́n má yà wá lẹ́nu. Yorùbá ara wa náà ni wọ́n máa rán sí. Bí wọ́n bá ti rówó, wọn ò ní bojú wẹ̀yìn. Wọ́n tilẹ̀ jíṣẹ́ yẹn ju bí a ṣe rán wọn lọ. Ṣé a kò gbàgbé ikú Àbáṣà tó pọ̀mọ Yorùbá kan tó jẹ́ obìnrin tí wọ́n fi bàbá lágbègbè kan nílùú Èkó? Ikú obìnrin èyí dùn gbogbo ènìyàn. Ṣùgbọ́n nígbà tí àṣírí ọ̀ràn fojú hàn, ènìyàn tó ṣàgbọ́dé gbà tí wọ́n fi rí pa. Yorùbá kúkú náà ní gbogbo wa la mọ̀. Àìlóhùn ká bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ ká ò lè sọ. Òwe Yorùbá náà ló sọ di mímọ̀ wípé adìyẹ kì í jẹ ìfun ara wọn. Ṣùgbọ́n bó bá jẹ́ nípa tàwa Yorùbá, adìyẹ ara wa ti ń gbéra mi. Ìran mi Yorùbá o, ẹ̀yà tó dára. Kí a má ṣe gbàgbé orin bàbá àgbà, bàbá Ògúndé tó fi ṣe kìlọ̀ fún ìran Yorùbá. Yorùbá ronú o. Ẹ̀yà Yorùbá ẹ̀tún ogun ńlá mìíràn tó ń bá wa jà. Ogun Haúsá kọ́ ò kì í ṣogun Ìgbò. Ogun àwa fúnra wa òun lé èrè. Kí ló ṣe dé wa ta sọ́dọ̀ ìríra tí kò yẹ láti gbọ́ láàrin ènìyàn gidi? Ọba Yorùbá mìíràn bó fẹ́ bá ìlú sọ̀rọ̀, èdè òyìnbó lọ́ba ìlú a máa sọ. A ó ti ṣe yìí sí ìran Yorùbá. Fún àpẹẹrẹ, bí ènìyàn mẹ́ta má bá ní aáwọ̀ ara mi láàrin ara wọn. Haúsá kan Yorùbá kan pẹ̀lú Ìgbò kan. Bó bá ti jẹ́ Haúsá, ọlọ́pàá ni wọ́n bá. Haúsá ló kàn tí wọ́n á dàbólẹ̀. Bó bá sì tún wá lọ jẹ́ ọlọ́pàá Ìgbò, lẹ́sẹ̀kẹsẹ̀ èdè tí wọ́n náà máa sọ. ṣùgbọ́n jẹ́ kí ọ̀rọ̀ torí ọmọ Yorùbá òyìnbó òfò ni wọ́n máa dàbólẹ̀ ẹni tó kọlà gangan kò ní sọ Yorùbá kàkà kó sọ Yorùbá pidgin ládàbólẹ̀ ìran Yorùbá mo ní àkókò ti tó yéyéyé Yorùbá jí o. Ẹ̀yin ìran mi ẹ jẹ́ ká jọ gbàárò láti bí yìí lọ báwùsá bímọ tiwọn sílẹ̀ Yorùbá mo ló di dandan kó gbédè bàbá rẹ̀ bí Ìgbò bá bí tirẹ̀ sílẹ̀ Yorùbá mo ló di dandan kó gbédè bàbá rẹ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ dorí akáyín àkàrà dẹ́gun ṣùgbọ́n Yorùbá gangan la sọ èdè wa èdè burúkú tí kò yẹ ká sọ láàrin ènìyàn yìí ọ̀rọ̀ burúkú òpònú kan fẹ́rẹ̀ lu ọmọ ọ̀dọ̀ rẹ̀ pa ó ló ń sọ Yorùbá sáwọn ọmọ òun gangan fúnra rẹ̀ Yorùbá sì ni mo ní kí ló dé tá fi wá sọ èdè wa èdè ìríra o ìran Yorùbá yóò Yorùbá ronú o. Bí mo bá parọ́ mo ní kí ẹ já mi 90% ọmọ Yorùbá ni kò lè ka èdè Yorùbá.
Olodo, I'm so happy, to have you on board with me today as we talk on the very important topic, the man called TINUBU and the Southwest politics, Southwest Nigerian politics. So we're going to be having that discussion today. So if you're watching me right now, there's something I need you to do for me. If you're watching me either on LinkedIn or you're watching me on YouTube or you're watching me on Twitter, I need you to do me a favor. I need you to like this page. I need you to share this page. I need to tell your friends that we're speaking live on this very important topic, and it's going to be in English language, purely in English language, so you can follow us. Let us know where you're watching from. You understand? Let us know where you're watching from. I have with me already, seated and ready to hit the ground running, Professor Ali Allahu, right from the capital, the beautiful capital of Abuja. Prof, thank you so much for joining us. I know it's a short notice, but you're always available for us. What is happening in Nigerian politics today? We've seen a lot of stories. The president is out of town. We talked about it 2 days ago. We know that even in Anambra, the former CBN governor was almost killed. 3 policemen lost their life. There seems to be a lot that is happening with all these different groups that are calling for agitations and actually picking up arms. But before we go into that, let's talk about the man called TINUBU. For our viewers that are listening to us, what will be your assessment of the man called TINUBU if you are given the opportunity to talk about him in 3 minutes? Who is that man called TINUBU?
Thank you, Comrade Olodo, as usual, for having me on this very unique and noble program. Mainly, it's supposed to be in Yoruba, but recently it seems for this very week on, we're going to be having it in English. Yes, the main focus point for the week, as you mentioned in your introduction, center around the man called TINUBU. Who is TINUBU? Ashiwaju, the one that the task have been bestowed upon him, that is in Hausa language, I believe, which is Jagaban. which means the leader, or like the leader or the commander of of people, should I say militarily, or a unique leader that Yoruba has been longing for since a death of late Chief Obafemi Awolowo. Although there are some others that come, but their impact hasn't been really felt across the southwest or beyond. But now come in the advent of Chief Bola Ahmed TINUBU, the Jagaban of Boro. That means the title was bestowed on him on the late Emir of Brogo land, which I believe is somewhere around northern part of Nigeria. Again, according to what we learned, TINUBU of a person, of a man, has been, I won't look from the philanthropics in terms of financial philanthropics work, charity, as I do like to define him as a makers of men that end up also replicate what he has been made by him. That means, I mean, before we can, anyone can be called a leader, but which kind of leadership, and what sort of impact does this leadership have on his product or his followership? I mean, we all know, some people might argue this, is just beyond southwest or south or southeast, all the way to the northern part of Nigeria. He has impacted the loads of lives, both female and males alike, in Nigeria and internationally, even beyond Africa. So this is the man. As we all know, is only the last time he was having anything public office in Lagos State was around 17 years ago, if I'm not mistaken. But since then, the man is still on a political scene. I mean, his work cut across religious and ethnic divides. So that's the reason why I believe, as I don't know of any other Yoruba leaders today, be political or economical or leadership, or even in a social realm, that's really noticeable than Chief Bola Ahmed TINUBU, the Ashiwaju of Yoruba. I believe, let alone that this has been bestowed upon him by an emir of Bogo, as we learned, but you can see that role fitted him naturally. Yeah, he's not a big man in terms of size, but he has his magnanimity with things he has done. Without Chief Bola Ahmed TINUBU, we won't have known so many names we can all call today in Nigeria. I might be a baby, but not that baby that cannot recollect it. The time of our the late Chief Obafemi Awolowo, that I can say, I do say to people that do try to claim Awoism or Awo. We are family friends of my late father as well, Alhaji Ashiru Alao. My father was part of the First Republic Action Group. I mean, he has to leave the town he was born in, somewhere in today's modern Osun State, when during that incursion they call Operation Wetie, when there's carnage all over, when they are setting house on fire and the rest of it. And again, he has to move to Ibadan, and ever since then he never returned. Until he died a few years ago. And now, then we heard about them come to another, I mean, let's say Second Republic, which happened to be that time of late Alhaji Shehu Shagari of MPN party. And then we have then coming up of, I guess, SDP, led by late Chief MK Abiola, which I believe then Chief Bola Ahmed TINUBU now come, I believe they are of that very class of Chief MKO Abiola. But I must say today, what the people that set the pace, or the people that get this thing started, couldn't reach back then. Chief Ashiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu has gone beyond. His influence has reached. Although I must say, plus and minuses. Minuses are those one that doesn't agree. But one thing I would like to say, let alone from the political spectrum or from political side of things, for you to be a leader anywhere in the world over the ages in history has taught us, for you to be a strong leader, for you to be a formidable leader, there will be some camps, some pockets of people that doesn't even like you. You breakdowns, moonwalk, or whatever, they will never like you. They don't like you for what reason? For no even reason. So I believe all the negativity we might be hearing, which I call minuses, are from this very camp of people. I could imagine someone that never met or never sat or never spoken to this man will begin with like, oh, he's corrupt, is this, he has this hegemony, he has done the things to family affairs and the rest and the rest and the rest of it. But for those one that he has touched their life politically, socially, and in other realms of human endeavor, I mean, it's a different story. I must say though, if they ask Chief Bola Ahmed Tinubu, have you met this young man? He might say no. But I saw him vividly, and again, I tried to kind of like, I saw him. I went with a friend to his office, I believe, and then again, I greeted him that Islamic greeting. Oh, Assalamu alaikum. Alaikum salam. It's like he knew me, and he smiled, and I withdrew, only to listen. And although some photograph was taken, I wasn't part of the photographs. But one thing I can say, sorry, I've been around for a while. I mean, in psychology, you can tell when someone is real or trying to act. He spoke bluntly and it was very straightforward. I mean, since then, that resonated in my mind that, oh, so it is the man called Jagaban. He spoke very, very simple, doesn't carry himself. He just spoke down to heart. I said to myself, ever since then, we never met again until this moment. But one thing I come to realize, which I've learned over the years, not only in academia, but from the life experience out there, for you to be a leader, to be a successful leader, you will never get there without glitches. Some people will just even hating you for that passion of hating someone or not liking someone. I wish and I pray Nigeria, or to be specific, the Southwest Yoruba race or tribe can produce more or like of Tinubu. I believe they will illuminate the whole region. But unfortunately, I haven't seen so far this kind of formidable leader or leadership from Chief Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So yes, I believe as the program continues, there's still a lot to explore as per the man called Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the Ashiwaju of Yoruba land and the Bogo of the Jagaban of Bogo land. So yeah, that's what I can say for now.
No, it's good that you've given our viewers a bit of a history for people that do not know the man called Ahmed Tinubu. And as we speak right now, there are people watching us on LinkedIn, people watching us on YouTube, people watching us on Twitter. What I want them to do is like this page and actually tell us where they're watching from. They should like this page, subscribe to it, and tell us where they're watching from. Now, the Tinubu Ashiwaju has actually corrected himself with regard to the error that was made in terms of his pronouncement during his public lecture, where he talked about recruiting 50 million Nigerian youths, in dealing with the issue of terrorism or violence extremism that is happening. That is an area of interest for us because we're into security. But it's collected instead, and he said 50,000. And we know 50,000 could do the job because Nigerian military have not been able to stem the rapid diabolical movement of Boko Haram the way they want, because the president said he will lead from the front and deal with this issue. And many Nigerians have said that Boko Haram have not been technically dealt with. So, what is your view? Do you think there is examples of great things that Tinubu had done as a governor, and bring it to the political scene come 2023 that you think would be quite useful for Nigerians? I feel that this is an opportunity as we're celebrating his birthday, his 69th birthday. These are the time where we need to look at examples of good things he's done and see whether those are things that could be eliminated, that could be, that could be taken on board at federal level, to be able to improve the lives of Nigerians.
Thank you very much. I believe I would like to, let me just look at his mini biography. I won't like to go too much, but let's look at the recent one. Let's be specific. Let's look at Lagos State, what he has done in Lagos State. To build a state, I won't look at the state. I would like to look at the people at the realm of affairs of Lagos State. I mean, the list goes on, which I believe most of our viewers are well aware. Like someone like Minister for Works and Transport, Minister for Works and Housing, in the like of, I believe, the former governor of Lagos State, Honorable Raji Fashola, which, I mean, he performed brilliantly well from, I believe, he used to be the SA in Lagos State while himself was a governor, and from there he later became the governor of Lagos State for 2 terms. That means for 8 years. We saw the improvement that he has brought in to Lagos State, and again in the like of the incumbent governor of Lagos State, which is I believe the man by the governor, former governor. The name now escaped my mind, Ambode, I believe, Governor Ambode. We also saw what he has done in that 4-year term he had. And again, we can see the continuity. One thing I would like to say, in the area of security, it's not one person's business. You have to be your neighbors, your brothers, or your sister's keeper. It's not a job of just a sitting governor or president. It's a work of every single person. You can attest to this in UK, United Kingdom, or in Germany, in France, in Belgium, in Austria, in the Western Hemisphere, in the whole Western Hemisphere. It's not about just the police or the military or the paramilitary. It's incumbent on every citizen or every resident of that state to give a tip-off, to give the intel to law enforcement agent if they see something that is very unusual in their neighborhood. So I believe by so doing, we can have an everlasting security in place in this state. So yeah, that's my take. Thank you.
I think one of the things you've brilliantly done is to transpose the skills that Governor or former Senator Tinubu had, actually, ruling Lagos State and now coming in, and you believe that there are things that he could actually do to add value to at the federal level. You understand? And that is very important. That is very important, because what we want is people to be able to carry their skill set from the local level and move it up. But we have a bit of a challenge. The challenge we have is that, as a lot of people believe that Senator Tinubu has ambition to become president in 2023, there are those people out there now bent to create a Yoruba nation. They are going about it. They put up their flag and they're saying, you know what, there's not going to be any election come 2023. And in fact, they are saying that we've seen what has happened as a result of some of their agitation. We saw that some people in the north decided to block, food coming in, and that created a lot of havoc and things. Do you think that the call for a Yoruba nation will actually have a major impact on Governor Tinubu's or Senator Tinubu's ambition to become president come 2023. Please unmute yourself.
Yes, thank you for this. Thank you for this fantastic question. Although Chief Bola Ahmed Tinubu hasn't declared his ambition to contest for 2023 presidential elections, and I believe, why not? Is he not a Nigerian? He's a Nigerian. It's his civic right to participate in the electoral means of becoming president of Federal Republic of Nigeria or anywhere else. I mean, and again, but I believe under the United Nations Charter, or human right, I should say, no one has right to say a full-fledged citizen of a state will not be allowed to take part in the political process. That one only against the law of Federal Republic of Nigeria, but the United Nations Charter, which I believe every able-body is assigned to or signatory to. So, and for those agitators, as they call themselves, or the secessionists, as they want to, as they present themselves, I believe only they don't know or they are ill-informed about the what we call the due process. You can declare anything, but you still need to go through the due process, which is referendum or referenda, as it's called. I don't think all this has been exercised or exhausted before coming out and say they are this, they are that, which I believe is a treasonable offense, crime, for anyone to come and declare a nation that hasn't been sanctioned, hasn't gone through the, the due process of referendum and what. So I believe they were firstly misguided or misleaded, but with time I believe things will be cleared up. Neither them or whoever has that God-given right to hinder others or to force things through people's throat that they just have to. It has to be their way or no way. If you call even the old Yoruba race today and say what did they want, some doesn't even know what it's all about. This agitation and so on and so forth. Who are they fighting for? We are not talking about the sound-minded and the light-minded Nigerians and the youths. When they say they represent youth, what is the demographic of this very youth? Have they carried any survey and asked people what did they want? So I believe not only they are biting what they can chew, but they need to go and take a chill pill and try to recalibrate and try to go and check their thought process to know what they are. The last time, I guess, moderator, you are comparing the man that is out there. This is a man that made so many men that we can now count on today. They should bring out their process. We don't even know these people. These are a bunch of ragtag criminals. And again, it will be an insult on the intellect of common man if they don't have any other representation again. The ones that their hands is filled in blood to lead who? Are we talking about Banana Republic or the law of the jungle? So I believe they need to go back home and check themselves before they wreck themselves. That's the street words. Because I believe they don't know what they are getting themselves into. Yeah, it's very possible. We can use the template of United Kingdom. In United Kingdom, we have England, which is the mother of all. We have Scotland, we have Ireland, Republic of Northern Ireland, and we have Wales. They are part of that very United Kingdom. But does that mean the man from Ireland is carrying gun, or the Scottish man is carrying gun? They say, oh, we're going to bring them down. We're going to shoot them. Anyone that doesn't with us, is that with us, or we are with the sellout? So they need to really calm down and stop all this venom rhetoric. That's not going to lead them nowhere. They will be on their own at the end of the day. By their fruits, we shall know them. Sorry, I'm not just talking from my whims. As I said before, my father was part of First Republic. I mean, I come from that political house or dynasty, if used to say. But again, this is not the way they do it. So all those threatening words, making noise, all these ragtag noisemakers, they can only bully themselves. Sorry, we stand for something, or we end up for nothing. So I believe Yoruba race, Yoruba tribe can do better than this lot. They're now shouting for Yoruba, Odua, and what or what not. I've heard they've been hoisting flag in some areas, some books and corners. I believe most of the people, when you even ask them what it's all about, they got no clue. They have no clue. So I guess about time, because when the Southwest, the one called Nnamdi Kanu, which on record we find out that wasn't even the name on the passport. If it's so well and good, we heard he's carrying British passport. Why is he in Israel? Why not in UK? These are miscreants. These are thugs. These are scammers. Check their record. Ask Scotland Yard, who is Nnamdi Kanu? They started like this. Where are they, our brothers, the intellectuals from Southeast? Because they failed to speak out. They got intimidated. They say not in our name in Yoruba land. Trust me on this very one. Sorry. Where are the likes that produce Wole Soyinka, the Nobel laureate? So we've been reduced to Mutopak out speaking for Yoruba race. I guess it's about time we recalibrate and we check ourselves before we allow this unknown entity to speak for us. That's my take. Sorry, I don't want to really get emotional about the thing, because again, we learned they even gathered money for them to do what? To fight who? So I believe we need to speak with one voice and tell them not in our name. They don't speak for us. They don't speak for us then, they won't speak for us now. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Let me bring in Barrister Adebola. Thank you so much for joining us under this short notice, but I know you are always our able brother and you are able to comment on this matter. The question I want to ask you, because Prof has more or less laid the table straight as a straight shooter. I say not in our name, and we know that a lot of people have gathered money for these individuals, and they've said that, because I had a class lecture yesterday with some students of security practitioners, and they were asking me what is terrorism, and they said, is terrorism just about the physical terrorism? And I said no. I said, if a group of individuals come out and say that they will not allow people to hold election, or they will even kill anybody that put themselves together, I said they are a terrorist. I said, so the government need to proscribe such group, and people giving money to such group will find themselves in a big trouble.
Sponsoring terrorism.
Yes. I said so, and we know now that there's a serious issue with even some of the money that are being raised, with people saying it is feeding money, what is not feeding money, acknowledging whether they collect money or not collect money. Now, the question I asked Prof, which I want to ask you, is there is a serious concern now in the political space, and that's the reason why some governors have come out to say, if you think you have the political muscle, come out and go to the ballot. Don't create unnecessary trouble. And so people are saying that if indeed Bola Tinubu has a political agenda. He needs to make it very clear because these Yoruba nation people are saying that there's not going to be an election come 2023. Do you think that these guys are strong enough to stop Ahmed Tinubu's political agenda come 2023, sir?
Thank you very much, sir. First of all, I have to apologize for coming in late. It's not in my DNA to be attending functions late. I just got caught up in some official issues that went beyond my control. Having said that, coming back to your question, it's a shame, and it's a big shame that the Yoruba race that hitherto has been adjudged to be the most sensible in the country called Nigeria. We now have some elements within that race now behaving like vagabonds. Because as far as I'm concerned, that's what they are. What they are treading on now is a very slippery slope that will end up in the abyss for every single one of them. Because I said it here the other day, that I need them to tell me the indices within the nation called Nigeria that necessitates clamor for the republic. Because in this dispensation that we are in, we have a lot of our brothers and sisters in this government who are doing fantastically well. This is perhaps the only government since 1999 that has reckoned, with the Yoruba race in its formation. So that's why for me, I will never understand where they are coming from. Apart from the obvious, which is that they are just being sponsored by some never do wells who perhaps because their fingers has been yanked off the cookie jar of Commonwealth. Free money is no longer flowing. They are going bankrupt. And that's why you see even some of their girlfriends will come on the social media and start talking rubbish when we are doing programs like this. Because that kind of free money is no longer coming up. So that's the only indices that I can see that is making them to do what they are doing. Apart from that, I don't see any serious reason for any Yoruba man to come up today and be talking about Olodo. And it's a shame again because many of these people were not around when you check their ages, apart from some retired professor who don't seem to know what they are doing, that's perhaps maybe because of what they want to eat, they are following them. Many of them were not around when the civil war happened in Nigeria. Perhaps maybe that explains why they are calling for war. Because the Yorubas have an adage, as I saw the civil war as a child, I saw things that a child of my age should never see. Sometimes I have some kind of I'm trying to find the right adjective for it now. Because what they are doing now is making me to remember some of the things that I saw them that have already consigned into garbage in my head. Because anybody who have seen war before will never call for it again. So they are lucky they were not around then, so they have no idea. And come to think of it, Ojukwu who promulgated Biafra, he did not go to war until after the Aburi Accord. I'm sure some of us are old enough to understand what I'm talking about here. And what the Aburi Accord was all about was for him and Gowon to find a middle ground over the agitations. And at that time, Ojukwu had agitations, which according to him was genuine. Because of what happened before the 1966 coup and after. So tell me, what is the agitation now? Because I really don't get it. I just don't. So for any of them now to, you see, you can see from their utterances now, they are beginning to show their cards now. They are beginning to tell us that number one, they have nothing in their heads. They have nothing to, even if, for argument's sake, the Obuduwa is now given to them on a platter of gold. They have nothing, yeah, to drive the nation. Because for anybody to come and say in 2023 there will be no election, first of all, election is a fundamental human right of every human being. When there's an election, you have that fundamental right to cast a vote. So if anybody is now telling me as a Yoruba man that because he has some stupid agitations, he will not allow me to vote, then he is taking away my right. And I think it's only a fool, a compound fool, that would want to follow someone like that. But then again, I think what is happening, you see, they are playing into the hands of, you see, some people think Buhari is a very soft spot. That's what they think. But trust me, by the time this government starts to bite back, I hope people will not start to say, oh, they are too high-handed. Because they have been doing all of this now for so many months now, or so many years now. This government has kept quiet, watching them, hoping maybe at some point they will see, they will borrow themselves sense, as we say in Nigeria, borrow yourself some sense, and stop this stupid agitation, because it will mark my words, it will never lead them anywhere. Until hell freezes over, it will never happen. Because some people fought with their blood to keep Nigeria one. So many people died to keep this country one. So for some black tax now to come now, because they no longer get free money, because that is the bottom line of what is going on now. The free money that they used to have under the previous government is no longer happening now. For me, that's one of the reasons why I'm following this government, because for me, what was happening before is not sustainable. It was only because God has a hand in that country. You can imagine if Jonathan had stayed in government, when shortly after he left, yeah, the price of petrol went down here. What do you think would have happened? You see, this is one of the things that these people are missing. All of this, all they just want is what goes into their pocket, stomach infrastructure. That's what all this is all about. But like I said, it will never happen. Put it down and put this date on it. And say, Adebola said it. It will never happen. And for those hoisting flags, I saw a video by the learned lawyer Femi Falana, when he was asking them, when you're calling for your republic, have you ever held a referendum? Have you ever asked the Yoruba people whether they want to follow you? You don't just come and bamboozle me and ask me I have to follow you or not. Who the hell do you think you are? You know, in this UK that we live in, all they had after so many years of agitation was just devolvement of power. They are still by and large under the UK government. They just have some kind of little control over their resources. At the end of the day, they still come to Westminster here for so many things. So are we now saying we are better than them here or what? So for me, I have a lot of pity for them, because they are having their 15 minutes of fame now, and if they have any iota of sense, brains in their head, I would say this is the time for them to cut their losses. Some people have donated money for them. Good luck to them. Many of the people that have donated money for them are people who are washing commode here in the Western world. I said it the other day that when Amotekun was set up solely because of this same Fulani herdsman thing they're talking about. These people did not rise up at that time to donate money for Amotekun, to help Amotekun, especially, you sir, you are a security expert. You understand what I'm talking about. If they had said, if they did not get up at that time to say, okay, let's donate money for this Amotekun, at least to help them to procure some surveillance equipment, which is, in my view, will go a long way in solving the issue of this hardware that we're talking about. They did not do that. You want to know why? Because it's not going to benefit them. But they can gather money now for somebody, just one a lone ranger, to go, according to them, to buy buses and do what with it? That's why, for me, the whole thing, the agitation and the way they are going about it just doesn't make sense to me. It's like a madman trying to pretend to be sane. Is that the way I look at them? They're all mad idiots who are just trying to pretend that they've got, they have some sense in their head. But trust me, it's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time.
Professor Ali Alao on this matter. One of the things that surprised me is the lack of preparedness of anybody that is a separatist that is looking at going out. We've seen what has happened in Scotland. We've seen what they've done. They put in place, measurements, the things to say this is what we're going to gain if we leave. This is the benefit. These are things. But we've not seen that with the Yoruba nation. Coupled with the fact that they are now talking about the fact that Yoruba will be the official language. You have to learn in Yoruba. It won't be in English language. So, Prof, if they ask you to learn what you've learned in technology in Yoruba language, how are you going to go about that? And will you be able to survive, able to even pass your WAEC in Yoruba language if you are going to write it in technology? So I wanted you to just have a go at it. But also on a more serious note, I saw one of our brothers actually posted an article where TINUBU said, "I do not believe in one Nigeria," and the person was using it as a way of trying to put a point that most of our politicians have hidden agenda. They are not like Western politicians that maybe all their sole intention is to, help with the development of the nation. So I wanted you to talk to that and also just talk about the fact that if indeed there was a Yoruba nation, how do you see it moving forward? Because the governor of Ondo, Ekiti State, Ekiti State made it clear that the Ijebus will not even agree with the Ijeshas or the Ifes, with the Modekekes or the others. So even internally within Yoruba land, I would say we are all Omoluabi. There will be another civil war like the civil war that happened somewhere around the Ogun State area in the olden days. I think it's called the Kiriji War or something like that. So anybody that thinks that, the fact that we have a Yoruba state will mean that everybody's going to be happy, that they have another thing coming. So just say something about that in 3-4 minutes, and then I'll bring Barrister Adebola back.
Thank you for these brilliant questions. Let me begin by those agitating for Oodua Nation, and now Oodua Nation, Yoruba going to be the official language, and they're going to set to other, should I say, their United Nations representative name must speak in Yoruba, everything must be written in Yoruba, even to the name must be Yoruba name. Let's begin from these agitators. Are they even carrying Yoruba name to begin? Are they Yoruba par excellence? Can they speak fluent Yoruba without adding some other vernaculars into it, be English and some other borrowed languages? I doubt they can, or I challenge them. What is their name, these agitators? Are they bearing Yoruba name or they are bearing some foreign name? Or it's going to be a mixed match? I believe it's good to dream. It's good to fantasize. But again, when everything's settled, we now come back to the reality. Where? Where is going to be capital of Yoruba nation? Will they be accepted in League of Nations? What about the neighbor? What about, okay, let's say they declare Yoruba nation today. What if Ondo region or Ondo actually say, look, I don't want to be part of you people? Or today's Ogun State say, no, I'm not part of you. And how are they going to deal with all those that fall into the northern part of Nigeria? I'm talking of Kogi and Kwara State. What are they going to do with this part? How are they going to, fashion it? So I believe it's nothing but fantasy. But one can keep dreaming. But when time comes, when one wake up back to the reality. More need to be said. Those one pushing for it, I believe they have their own agenda. They are not fighting for Yoruba, they're only fighting for their pocket, so to say. I'm not going to hold my tongue when it comes to this issue. What is agitation all about? I doubt it is not for what? The benefit or the interest of Yorubas, but just for their own selfish interest.
Okay,
So
let me bring in let me bring in Barrister at this point. Barrister, you've heard what Professor had to say, and the fact that these guys they don't have they've not actually thought through their agenda on this matter. They've not actually looked at it, critically to be able to make sure that they have everything that needs to be in place, that should be in place. We are at a crossroad now, and there is need for good people to come out and stand tall. And you mentioned it earlier that it looks as if some of these guys are motivated by money and all kind of reasons, because any reasonable person will go through their national assembly to even say, okay, we want a region. So, and Afenifere have always been asking for a stronger region, not secession. But these guys have come from nowhere. They're asking for secession. They're fighting on the internet over money, raising of £45,000 and all kind of things. What is your view? If you have a crystal ball, do you think they will survive another 3-4 years, or are they here to stay? What do you have to say to that, sir?
Well, if they may be here to stay, if they go underground, but if they stay on the surface of the earth and continue in this, I said it earlier on, it's just a matter of time. They are just being allowed their 15 minutes of fame now. And I'm talking to you authoritatively now. They are just being given their 15 minutes of fame. If they are not careful, especially with the unguarded statements that have been coming out of some of them, it's just a matter of time before they get into trouble. Because thank God that Buhari is not a dictator. Assuming if it was Abacha that's in control today, do you think any of them would dare do what they're doing? And yet they'll come back and tell us that Buhari is trampling on their human rights. It's only under this government that you can say anything you like, abuse the government, and you go home and sleep. You cannot do that even when Obasanjo was in government. You cannot do it. So that's why I said they have been allowed their 15 minutes of fame. And if they have any sense in their heads, that is if they have any iota of brain in that skull that they call head, they will know when to call it quits. They've had their 15 minutes of fame, go home and sleep. Because that agitation is a mirage. It's never going to, I've said it so many times, and I keep saying it, it's never going to amount to anything. Because Nigeria has come a long way. So many blood was shed to keep this country warm. And when we think further beyond the Civil War era, the Awolowos of this war, the Nahoros of this war, they did not gain independence by abusing the colonial masters. They did not gain us our independence, yeah, by threatening thunder and brimstone. They did it methodically. They did it with decorum. You don't go again. I don't blame them because you cannot give what you don't have. They don't have any of those things I was talking about. They don't have decorum. They don't even have. You see what you see? I said it earlier on that when a madman wants to behave like a sane person, there will always be that element of gong 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 gong. You know what the universe called gong gong gong, gong gong gong. Toriko Sini, a madman will never be sane. So that's exactly what is happening to these guys. But it's like I always say, it is an agitation that is dead before arrival. It's not going to amount to anything. If care is not taken, many of them will get into serious trouble that they will not be able to wriggle out of it because they've been doing so many felony acts now that which gives me that conviction that it's just a matter of time before they get picked up one after the other. And I just hope when that time comes, some people will not start to talk, this government, because right now, this government is allowing them to do what they are doing. But when it's time for this government to act, make anybody don't come begin to shout to. This is my own.
Okay, let nobody start to scream when the government become very serious with these people. Prof, I have to bring you in at this point because we have less than 2 minutes to put a wrap to this program. I know you have a lot of places you need to go to, so I'm going to come to you straight on this. When the Biafrans start the iPod and the Kanu start their conversation, the government did not take them so serious. Now they are killing police officers and military, ambushing people left, right, and center. We know that even on some of the charter rooms of the Yoruba nation, there's conversation about equipping themselves with weapons in order for them to be able to carry out their strategic agenda. Do you think it is high time that the government now take this group seriously, clamp on them, and ask people that have legitimate concern to go through their legislative platforms or legitimate platforms to express their view? Or do you think government should just let them be and allow them to fizzle away? Or do you think that if government does not step down on them now, it could become a serious issue? Just in 2 minutes, sir.
Thank you once again, Comrade Olodo. I believe the government has to take a pragmatic approach. They shouldn't let it lie. They shouldn't just ignore them. They are not to be ignored. Their threat is real. They say they will come after those monarchs. The same very monarchs they abscond. They call them sellout. They call them all kinds of names that are not even printable in the main media. I mean, I don't know. They respect nobody. They go against the realm of the Yoruba or Maluabi of a thing. So I believe, I don't know the people they are going to lead, if you ask me, because they carry out consensus today. I don't know who is going to subscribe to their wayward ideology. And the threat is there, and their threat is real. And government shouldn't kind of wait before they cause any kind of mayhem before they started picking them up. They need to be locked up. I mean, they need to be dealt with. and they send their, they have their collaborators in diaspora, which I believe in due times those will be taken care of, because if Nigerian government doesn't take them seriously, the host country is a land of law and order, whereby some of their rhetoric stuff, only if they say it in English, Scotland Yard is waiting. We knock and bomb their door and lock them where they belong. We've seen this. We've seen this before. It's not just only about being Nigeria or being Yoruba or agitate. There is a legitimate way you can go and say you want this, but not about threatening lives and properties of fellow citizens of the Commonwealth, Nigeria. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much, and a very big thank you to Barrister J.K. Adebola for coming on board and helping us with this program. We really, really, really appreciate you. My special thanks also to Professor Ali Alao, for joining us and taking your time out. Now, our next program is going to be on Saturday at 3 p.m. and it's called the Diaspora Yoruba Lounge, where we'll be speaking in Yoruba starting 3 p.m. live. All gloves removed. We're going to be blasting the airwaves, so you'll be able to watch us live on YouTube, live on LinkedIn, live on Twitter, and live on Facebook. If you're watching me right now, you can like this page, share this page, leave your comments, and if you don't like it, give us a thumbs down. We're happy to take that also. And leave us a message. If you have questions, let us know what your questions are. Until we meet again, to everyone that is watching us, whether in the morning, whether in the evening, whether at night, I say God bless you all. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And a big special thank you to my viewers. And definitely we'll have a big house, a fuller house on Saturday, where people have not gone to go and fight for their guru, as we call it here in the UK. So until I see you again, it's your own guy, Temitope Olodo, signing out and saying God bless you and thank you so much for tuning in.